Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into the incredible world of sound, and we're going to look at it from two really different angles: hard science and deep spirituality. We want to understand something we experience every moment of our lives: the phenomenon of hearing.
So, the source material we're looking at today kicks things off with this really profound idea. It says that our ability to hear isn't just some biological thing. It's a divine gift. It's basically the main tool we're given to perceive, to communicate, and to connect with the entire world.
And that question, that's what this whole explainer's about. We're going to start with the physical stuff, the nuts and bolts of how sound works, and then we're going to explore its more metaphysical side. Okay, let's dive right in.
So if we're going to really appreciate this gift of hearing, we've got to start with the basics, right? The science that makes it all possible.
And that science is called acoustics. And what acoustics tells us is actually super simple, but also kind of profound. Yeah, that's it. Every single sound you've ever heard, a tiny whisper, a massive thunderclap, it's all just a vibration traveling through something, like the air around us, and finally reaching your ears. The air is just the carrier, letting these invisible waves get from their source to you. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because the medium, it changes everything. Just look at these numbers. Sound zips through the air at about 330 meters per second, but stick it in water and it's almost 5 times faster. And through solid steel, whoa, it's over 15 times faster. Why? Well, think of it like dominoes. The molecules in steel are packed super tight, so the vibration just flies through. It's a great reminder of how connected sound is to the physical world. But here's the thing. Even with this amazing system, our ears are only tuned into a very specific slice of all the vibrations happening out there. We can hear stuff between 20 and 20,000 hertz. Anything lower than that is infrasound. Think of those deep rumbles elephants use to talk to each other. And anything higher is ultrasound, which bats use to see in the dark.
So, okay, our hearing is amazing, but it's got limits, right? Physical boundaries. But what if we could go beyond them? That's where our source material takes us next. And look, this is something we all face. It's just a natural part of life. As we get older, our ability to pick up on those high-frequency sounds starts to fade. It's a pretty clear reminder that our physical senses don't last forever. But right here, our source material takes a sharp turn and tells this incredible story that basically challenges that whole idea of physical limits.
So, I want you to really try and picture this. 621 kilometers. That is a huge distance, right? Think Paris to Amsterdam. Just a massive stretch of empty desert. There's just no way for a normal sound to travel that far.
The story goes that right in the middle of the Battle of Tabuk, this call was made. A voice just sent out into the world. And this is the unbelievable part of the story. The source tells us that Imam Ali, who was all the way back in Medina, 621 kilometers away, heard that call and he rushed to help. This is presented as a perfect example of hearing that just completely bypasses the laws of acoustics. It's a sound on a totally different spiritual level.
Which leads us perfectly into our next idea. Because sound isn't just about vibrations hitting our eardrums, is it? It's emotional. It feels like it has a direct line right into our souls.
And the source material makes a really clear distinction here. You've got two kinds of sound. On one side, you have these ordered, rhythmic sounds, what it broadly calls music. And it feels good, right? Energizing. But on the other side, you have that jarring, grating noise, like a donkey's bray, which the Quran actually calls the most unpleasant of sounds. The difference isn't just technical, it's about how it makes your soul feel. And that's exactly why the source puts so much emphasis on the sound of a beautiful Quranic recitation. It's not just about getting the words right, it's about the rhythm, the tone, the melody. When it's done right, it's described as being like a brilliant star shining, something that just fills your heart with joy.
So here's the big takeaway. Sound isn't just a passive thing that happens to us, it's an active force. Think about it. A sad lament, a marcia, can literally bring you to tears. A song of praise, a meta, can make your heart soar. The source even talks about how the voice of the prophet David could captivate animals and how rhythmic drums could give soldiers courage in a battle. It all points to one idea. Sound has this incredible power to directly shape how we feel, both emotionally and spiritually. All right, so for our last section, let's try to tie these two big ideas together, the hard science and the deeper spiritual meaning. And we're going to do it with something we've all heard before, an echo.
So physically, an echo is super simple, right? A sound wave hits a hard surface, bounces back, and you hear it again. We see this all the time, you know? It's why you see lightning way before you hear the thunder. Light is just so much faster. But that little delay, that's the key. We can actually use it to measure things.
Yeah, using just basic physics, we can measure the world around us. So check this out. A guy is 40 meters from a mountain. He shouts. That sound has to travel there and back, so that's 80 meters total. We know the speed of sound is about 330 meters per second. Do the math, and boom! He hears the echo just 0.24 seconds later. It's a real, tangible thing.
But then, just like before, the source asks us to take that physical idea and look at it spiritually. It suggests that just like sound waves create a physical echo, powerful, sacred words can create a spiritual echo, a kind of reverberation that lasts through time, something that people can feel long, long after the words were spoken.
Which really leaves us with this one last big question. If hearing is this divine gift, then what does it truly mean to listen? Is it just a passive thing, vibrations hitting our ears? Or is it something more? Is it an active search, a way of tuning in to find those deeper, spiritual echoes in the world around us? So the next time you really listen, what are you going to be listening for?